Welcome back to Circle Club Entertainment for yet another Diecast review. And today is going to be something really exciting and special for the channel here in 2024. Something that I've been really excited and been waiting for a long time. We finally have ourselves a 2024 Toyota Camry XSE Next Gen NASCAR Diecast, the brand new mold for the Toyota racers in the NASCAR Cup Series. This is super exciting because, of course, Toyota, as of this recording, is one of my favorite manufacturers, and whenever they reveal something brand new, it's always exciting. And stay tuned to see some Ford Mustang Dark Horse cars later on in the channel in future reviews. We're definitely going to be looking at that new mold, but today we're going to be focusing on Martin Truex Jr. and his 2024 Bass Pro Shops Club / Tracker Boats and ATVs Toyota Camry XSE number 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. So back-to-back Joe Gibbs Racing diecast reviews here on the channel. We just looked at the Sheldon Creed Toyota Supra. That car was really exciting, a lot of colors on it. Well, today we have ourselves one of the iconic sponsors. I've looked at many of their diecasts. Bass Pro Shops sponsorship. They have had plenty of great paint schemes, have given us a lot to talk about in the past here on the channel with their paint schemes. And today they are on a brand new mold, this all-new Toyota Camry, which we'll be getting close-up looks at, and we'll even be receiving a separate video comparing the old to the new. But here it is, brand new in the box, 2024 Martin Truex Jr. Really exciting day, folks. I've been dying to get one of these 2024 Camrys. I cannot wait to get the other ones that are going to be coming out. It's going to be super exciting to see all these brand new Toyota Camrys entering the review studio for the first time in 2024. So without further ado, let's get this brand new Camry out of the box, ready to be reviewed for Martin Truex Jr. Here it is, folks, brand new, out of the box, Martin Truex Jr. This is his final NASCAR Cup Series primary paint scheme. He will not be returning to Joe Gibbs Racing. He's retiring at the end of the year. What a fabulous career this man has had behind the wheel of this number 19 and the 78 and just everything that he's driven back in the 56 days, the Michael Waltrip Racing days, just DEI even. Just Martin Truex Jr. is one of those legendary veteran drivers. Just an inspirational story for many. Just starting off in not the best equipment, you know, and then just kind of falling under the radar for a little while. Building up that 78, that Furniture Row Racing team to be a better race team. And now it's where he is today with Joe Gibbs Racing in his final season. Just incredible. Of course, he's the 2017 NASCAR Cup Series champion and will forever be known as a NASCAR Cup Series legend. Just a fantastic driver behind the wheel of this car. And of course, it needed to have a fantastic paint scheme on, and I think Bass Pro Shops has nailed it. This is the 2024 version. Of course, this is an update from last year, so there is no more metallic silver. Now the entire car is covered in that camo, and there's a slight bit less of the yellow. In fact, the only yellow that I can really see on this paint scheme really is what's on the logo itself, so pretty interesting design choice there, but nonetheless, the camo and the bright neon orange together just make a fantastic look for this car. So without further ado, let's get this diecast review on. A lot of people have been waiting to see a 2024 Camry diecast review, so let's get a look at one of them. Here it is. This is the Martin Truex Jr. diecast, so here it is, guys. You have number 19, Joe Gibbs Racing, Camry right there in the front, the brand new Toyota Camry XSE mold. What am I doing? Let's zoom in on this, man. This is a brand new car. Let's show it some love here. Just loving the look of this new car. There is a lot to love about this new car. Just so many cool new details about it. Just the way it looks compared to last year's and the years before that. It truly shows you how far the Camry has come in the automotive world. More details on that coming soon, the mold, but here it is, just first impressions of it. Loving the looks of it. We're going to have some great looking die-casts and paint schemes for Toyota. Of course, now the Toyota logo is right on the nose of the car. Unlike last year, it was just straight up in the middle. Because they redesigned this entire nose, the logo is now going to be like on the tip of the nose right there. So that's a new little change. Of course, you have Johnny Morris, Bass Pro Shops Club. Of course, Johnny Morris is a very influential person over there He's done a lot, not only for his own company, but for the veterans and NASCAR. Just very successful man's name over that logo. You have Toyota and Truex Jr. So yeah, this is a Gold Series car, guys. I knew, I'm not going to be really collecting as many of these Gold Series cars, but I probably will be for these Toyotas. So get used to these slightly longer reviews due to these extra details. Of course, the windshield detail and stuff of that nature. You have Sunoco right there. You have the white Goodyear logo on the fenders, but they are yellow on the wheels with the dark gray rims. You have NASCAR Cup Series number 19, Martin Truex Jr., Bass Pro Shops, Toyota, and oh boy, am I going to be able to read that one? Can't really see what that is. Wow, there's actually some new stuff on here that I haven't seen before. Can I zoom in on it? Come on, camera. Let's do this, man. Come on. Toyota, is that ROQ? Noble and JD Gibbs. You have Black Rifle Coffee Company. You have Mobile One, which these Toyota Camrys have. You have Tracker ATVs. You have AutoOwners.com. Interstate Batteries. And of course, Tracker Boats and ATVs. I missed the boats. It was right in the quarter panel, too. You have Reese's Fine Foods right there. And I believe the other side might have slightly different stuff. I think it does, right? This side had Black Rifle Coffee Company and Tracker. This side still has Tracker ATVs and boats, but it has True Timber camo instead. So you have that going on right there. And if you look closer at the camo, you might actually see some other little printings of like letterings and logos. There's something that says like Viper, like right there. There's like other little details they have on this car that you would really have to get up close and look at it, which I have. I've gotten up close to the real life version of this paint scheme. Of course, in Joe Gibbs Racing, there's a show car of this exact scheme. And there's actually plenty of details on it that you probably wouldn't notice at first glance if you look closer at the camo. So here's the back right here. You have Toyota Camry, you have Tracker Boats and ATVs, XSE instead of TRD. As far as I know, Toyota has not really worked on a new TRD, which is kind of unfortunate. Hopefully that's coming soon. You got Bass Pro Shops right there, number 19, Mobile One, and the red box Toyota logo underneath the Tracker Boats and ATVs. Just look at the back of the new Camry, how cool the new taillights look. The back looks a lot longer on these cars because it doesn't have that fake diffuser sticker. They didn't do that for this version of the Camry. Of course, you got a teeny little rear view camera next to that Toyota logo right there. But yeah, loving the look of those new taillights. Again, we will talk plenty about this car down the road. You have Cabela's, you have Doosan, Lincoln Welders, Mac Tools, Sherwin-Williams, and Siemens, right by the Cabela's logo right there. You have Truex Jr., and then BassProShops.com on the top with the number 19. So now that we've gotten all of our sponsors covered, let's get a look at the paint scheme itself. So right off the bat, this thing is spray painted that bright neon orange first, so everything else wrapped on is a decal, which leads to the orange on this thing standing out even more. I'm glad that they did not make the neon orange a decal, because that would have not have stood out as much. If you look at the number 19 and then compare it to the neon itself, you can tell that this number, I believe, is meant to be that same orange. It looks a slightly different shade because when you print it on as a decal, the colors don't come out as bright. But when you use paint, it looks really good. This thing looks like it could glow in the dark. Just spectacular. I always love these neon bright colors being used on these cars. And it's a very simple scheme, as you're about to find out here. But one of my favorite parts of it, before we get to that, you got your standard black spoiler, black roof rails, and the black splitter of this brand new Toyota Camry. Just so exciting. Oh my God, I've been waiting so long. All right, so let's talk about the first detail, which I said is one of my favorite parts about it. Look at the front end of this car. So look at the black right here. You got this black wrapping underneath the OEM details towards the bottom. Then you have this little trapezoid shape to round out those new front character lines of the Camry. It just looks like a giant black mustache. And something about it I really, really like. That's a really cool, for some reason, I don't know why I like it. I just do. It just looks fantastic. I guess because it makes all the colors around it pop more. You put that black front end on there and everything around it just pops, man. Wow, it's a good looking car. And because I'm also a paint scheme designer, I've worked a lot with making paint schemes with this brand new Toyota Camry. Let me tell you something. This is one of the funnest cars to work with and put paint schemes on, because once it has it on there, it looks fantastic, man. So obviously I'm going to be using that black on the front of the car. That looks great. Just looks super cool. You can even paint this front of the part of the car any color you want, and that design will still look great. So around it, you're going to have that neon orange just kind of wrapping around as well. And of course, you're going to have some black over here on the front corners of it. And then it's going to kind of transition. It's kind of like a hard, flat line transition right there. You can see like the decal. It's not really a gradient. It just doesn't fade. But it goes straight into the camo pattern, which is pretty much all around this car. Of course, the hood is going to have that camo pattern as well. Got your little hood vents there, of course. But let's talk about the neon orange again. So the neon orange, it starts out wrapping towards the front right here, matching the hood lines, and then it's just going to flow over the side parts of the front end, or the top front right here around the hood, and then it's just going to wrap on the A pillars, B pillars, and C pillars, and pretty much stop right around the C pillars. Clean design. I absolutely love the look of this. This is a really beautiful looking car. So you have that neon design pattern we talked about just now. And then, of course, everywhere else, because there's no more bits of yellow and there's no more bits of the metallic silver where it used to be. The metallic silver used to be somewhere around the top. Well, now it's just going to have camo all the way around. So let's get close-up looks at this camo paint job right here. Again, just a lot of details on it. You would really have to look super close to notice them. Maybe get a 124, or maybe look at the real-life car when you see it. But yeah, that's pretty much the rest of the paint scheme. Just all camo all around. You can see like little symbols like that one right there. Looks like maybe like another True Timber logo. You had that little Viper logo I pointed out right there. Got your little paint chip on the Tracker logo right there. But other than that, here it is, the rest of the paint scheme. Just the camo looks amazing. And by the way, this thing still has the black side skirts, but I've seen some of the other teams wrap over the side skirts, so you could really extend the side of your paint scheme now that they give you that opportunity to do that design-wise, because last year and the year before that, when the TRD Camry was running on the track, it had that like TRD arrow pattern. So the XSC doesn't really have any of those extra little arrow bits anywhere, really, which that's why the back doesn't have it. So it's kind of a more clean looking car as opposed to having that TRD stuff on there. But yeah, that's pretty much how the camo looks all around the car. Just like black, silver, gray, just pretty much like low contrast, like just basically your blacks and grays and a little bit of whites perhaps. But yeah, camo looks as good as it usually does. I believe it's the same camo pattern as last year, maybe just slightly altered a little bit. I do remember this sort of pattern being on there, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's altered in a slight bit of the way. But yeah, and then you have the back of it, just camo, pretty much all the way around with the neon orange just wrapping around it with the black in the front. Pretty nice scheme, straightforward, but again, so many details to be had on this car. Just look at it. Just amazing, right? Just the way they design these cars, just fantastic. NASCAR have always looked really, really good. And that number 1 on that 19 is a little crooked. It looks like maybe somebody kicked it, went, ugh, and it just put a dent in the 19 right there. That's unfortunate. But here's the good side. Of course, number 19, the same style colors. Of course, you have the white outline on the roof, the black outline, and then the neon number fill-in. And it's pretty much that same number style all around the rest of the car. And then, of course, black in the front right here. And then that, it's more of like a red color. It looks like a Carl Edwards 19 red underneath that taillight. But let's get a look at the 360 view of this car and maybe also talk a little bit more about this new Camry. Again, I'll have to make that a separate video talking about the casting itself, because again, this video would literally be 20 minutes if I went over the entire casting. But here it is in the front right here. You have the front of the car with that new Camry style. Here's the hood. Here's the right side of the car. Here's the back. Here's the deck lid. Here's the roof. Here's the left side. And then the under tray of these brand new cars. What's weird is that there's no model year on this. No 2024 Camry or none of that stuff. It just says Toyota trademarks used with permission. They used to have 2022, 2023, right? I gotta double check that. It's odd that the Toyotas don't have a model year underneath it, but other than that, folks, here it is. Again, there are plenty of ways to get this diecast. You can pick up this 164 if they release it again in the NASCAR Authentics, the 124, or even the RC Losi models have this paint scheme on there, the Truex one. So plenty of ways to get it. Buy your favorite one, guys. Just absolutely incredible looking paint scheme, one of the coolest, and of course not a bad paint scheme to end Martin Truex Jr.'s tenure at Joe Gibbs Racing and in the Cup Series. Just what an amazing car. It's the first Camry to be released. It kind of reminds me of when Christopher Bell's 2022 DeWalt car was the first Camry to get released, and I was, of course, the first in line to get that. Just, it's always exciting to see a new paint scheme or a driver's paint scheme on a new car model, and that's exactly what we had today. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you all for checking out this diecast review. Comment, like, and subscribe for more content here on the channel, and stay tuned for me comparing this brand new Toyota Camry to the one in 2023. Thank you all for watching this diecast review, and always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecasts.